Welcome to Microsoft Project. This is an example project file open and ready so that I can demonstrate a few of the facilities that work well within Microsoft Project. This project file is called bathroom.mpp. You can see that from the title bar at the top. .mpp is the file extension for Microsoft Project files. You'll see the project split into separate sections. These sections are visible from a phase section here. You can see planning phase. It's in bold, it has a minus sign against it that when we click compresses all the tasks that belong to that phase. Likewise for the preparation phase and the first building phase. You'll notice because of the indentation that the first building phase actually has two subsections within it, and those can be contracted or expanded independently of the main phase, which can be contracted like so. This view is referred to as the Gantt chart view, and we see the data entry table. There are a number of columns. They work very much like Excel. You can even see they're row numbered, the same as Excel, 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. If you delete a row or insert a row, the numbers of the row do not get removed, like Excel. We have an information column, which you can't put anything in directly, but you'll notice down here at task number 20, there is a little post-it note that if you hover over, the note information appears. And that says, please make sure there is enough power for this one is a big TV. There is a task mode column for deciding whether the task is either automatically scheduled or manually scheduled. A little drop down to choose one or the other. The task names are simply typed in. When you get to that stage, you can edit the contents of this box the same as you would in Excel. F2 to open the self-editing, and we can get in and make any changes. There is a duration column to say how long each task is going to take. So we see a day, half a day, 2 hours, 1 hour. And we can edit those and obviously data entry the length of each task. Then you see a start and a finish date for each task. Predecessor column. Now these columns, just like Excel, are able to be widened and narrowed and even automatically fitted. So the task name column, for example, if I move between task name and duration and double click at that point there, it narrows up the column to fit the widest entry. You'll notice that as you hover over each of these column headings, you get your screen tips to tell you what's happening. So if I hover over start, it says the start is the start date for each task. If I hover over predecessors, it tells us the predecessor task ID number for the predecessing task, etc. Columns that you're not using can be narrowed up. So this left hand side of the screen is the data entry table, and you can see it goes down and down. You only get row numbers for the rows you've used, unlike Excel. So this goes to row 55. There's nothing in the next row, so no number is assigned at this stage. Now on the right hand side of the screen, you'll see there's a split column, which I can grab and drag across. This right hand side of the screen is the Gantt chart. The Gantt chart is a time display of your project. So each task has a blue bar. The width or the length of that blue bar is relative to the width or the length of other blue bars to represent how long each task takes in relation to each other. So this task here obviously takes less time than that task there. And if you follow that task up to the bar at the top, you can work out how long it's going to take. So that's about half a day. That one's approximately 2, maybe 3 days. And you can see there's some longer tasks with a lag. And as we move through time, some more longer tasks, some shorter tasks, some very short tasks. These grey bars with the lump at each end are the project summary line. So that gives you an indication of how long that phase will last. That phase, and then that phase, which is the first building phase, is quite a long phase. The timeline on here by default shows a week. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you can zoom in or out of that time to get a closer or a further away view. And we'll look at how and why you'd want to even do that in a later movie. So that's the Gantt chart, spelled G-A-N-T-T after Henry Gantt. So the main view that you would get in a project when opening it up from scratch is this Gantt chart view, which has on the left hand side the data entry table with all its columns, and on the right hand side the Gantt chart itself, the graphical view of your project.